We're gonna try this again. Gonna do a preview of the Valkyrie, the new aircraft coming out for Planetside 2 for people that aren't able to get onto the test server like I am. Like anybody is, but sometimes you don't want to download 9 gigabytes. And I understand that. So first up, we have the gun selection. Only one gunner slot. Pilot doesn't get anything. And the gun is separate. The gunner is separate. So default is the M20 Wyvern, similar to the Drake, except for it's a little bit faster and faster reload and smaller clip. For this weapon, you have your basic ammo capacity increase, which increases it by 300 rounds, which doubles it to 600 from the base 3. Your utility slot, you get magazine size increase, which only increases it by 10. So it brings it up to 40, and then your reload takes it from 2 1/4 to 1 1/2, which is actually pretty dang fast. And then of course you got your basic optics, which anybody who's played the game for a while probably knows these. 50 meters for the thermal, 1,000 now for the night vision. Yeah. Then you have Hellion G20, which is similar to the Vulcan in mechanic. It spools up, starts off slow and then speeds up. It's got small arms damage, 167, blah blah blah. It's basically a machine gun. Ammo capacity. Start with 420, full ammo gives you another 300, so that's 720. Your utility slot, same thing, 10 rounds for the magazine. Now a full second for the reload speed, so that brings it down from 3.5 to 2.5, which is actually quite nice. Then your standard optics. This one's a little different, the CAS 14E. It's a anti-infantry weapon. It fires explosive rounds. You can see the direct damage is kind of low, but then you get the indirect, which is kind of a small splash radius, but it is a machine gun, so it shouldn't be a problem. Standard ammo capacity, extra 600 rounds, so get 1080 at max. Mag size again, start at 60, go up to 80. And reload speed, half second off of the already short 2-second reload. This is a theme for most of the Valkyrie weapons, is they got fast reloads. So this brings it down from 2 to 1.5. It's pretty dang quick. And again, your standard optics. All the weapons so far have standard optics, and then there's nothing special there. So I won't keep going into that. Another interesting weapon is the Pelter rocket pod. It's basically the ESF rocket pods, but on a turret. It's got a faster reload than the rocket pods on the Scythe. Quite a bit faster, in fact. Faster firing rate, but it has a smaller magazine, so it's kind of a trade-off there. Again, standard ammo capacity takes it from 64 to 96. Mag size only adds 2 rockets, so it brings it up to 10, which is the reload speed takes down from the already pretty short 3.5 to just straight 3. And again, 400 damage, 100 indirect with a 0.35 max damage splash. Min range is only a meter. So it's kind of a small splash, not a huge splash, but if you go and you compare it to the dual photon pods on the Scythe, which are the dumbfire rocket pods on the Scythe, if people don't know what it's called. Slower fire rate, a little bit more damage, more than a little bit, and then larger splash as well, quite a bit larger in fact. Get the 14 round clip, but then you got that nasty 5-second reload, which only goes down by 3/4 of a second. So it's still, even with max reload, it is still slower reloading than the Pelter's default. So again, a theme for the Valkyrie is fast reloads. And you have the VLG missile launcher, which is basically a wire guide missile. It's basically an AV turret or a Hornet missile on the turret. And it does quite a bit of damage from this. 1800, which is only 200 shy of our friendly Dalton here. And splash damage is not bad either. It's actually is the same damage, but smaller radius than the Dalton. So that's an interesting thing. Then this is where it really shines, in my opinion. Is this fast 2-second reload? Look at that. It's faster than the Dalton, which, yeah, by half a second. Yeah, not a big deal, you think. Then you look at the reload utility slot. 75 seconds. 1.25 reload. It's huge. The Dalton's is only 0.375. So even with full reload on the Dalton, it's still slower than the uncerted missile launcher on the Valkyrie. That's kind of an interesting thing. Okay. Oh, and I forgot and then you got the ammo capacity, which takes it up to 70 rounds. And full reload brings it into a 1.25. Then you got your standard optics. Utility slots, decoy flares, pretty standard for most aircraft. Ejection seat, again, kind of standard. Although, you know, I think it may deserve having this by default, similar to the Galaxy, but it's just me. Fire suppression, probably going to be the fan favorite. And then scout radar, which might be useful depending on if you're running in a group or whatever. I'll probably hit it with fire suppression. And then you get your defense slot, vehicle stealth, that very few people actually use, but does get used occasionally. Innate auto repair, and then composite. The thing you have to remember about the Valkyrie is it is painfully slow at max speed, at cruising speed. It's very maneuverable, but your max speed is not going to be very high, which means you might get more bang for your buck out of composite armor than innate auto repair, just because you're not going to be able to like afterburner out of firing range for this to kick in. You're probably going to want that extra bit of resistance to get you out in time instead of just blowing up on the way out. So I will probably start out trying composite. I may go to auto repair like most things, because you don't have to repair. But remember, you got those seats, the rumble seats, and you can repair from those rumble seats. You can engineer repair from those seats. So then auto repair might not be the go-to for this vehicle. And performance slots, these are probably going to take a while for people to figure out which one's better. Improves cruising speed, vertical thrust roll rate for the evasiveness, and then hover stability, increases hover brakes, yaw rate, and downward thrust. Honestly, I'm on paper here, like what it's saying it improves. I'm thinking evasiveness, but Again, I think it's going to take some live trial, like flying it around on live before that you figure out which one's better. In cosmetics, I'm not going to go into too much. Whoops. They're pretty standard. You know, these are a little different. These are unique. Yeah, Luma fibers. I'm gonna leave it stock just because, yeah, it looks actually pretty nice stock. Yeah, it's gonna go with reload speed. I've been playing around with it, and magazine size benefit is a lot smaller on the Valkyrie stuff in general, and the reload speed is a bigger difference. And I'm thinking maybe the reload speed on top of the already fast reload is going to win out. I mean, it's a 30 round clip, and full magazine size only adds 10 extra rounds according to this. So maybe the description is not in. I don't know. But yeah, and of course your optics. Yeah, night vision. Why not? So that's the default cannon with a little bit of sorting. Yeah. However, just for so I can demonstrate stock first. I'll start with completely stock. You just downloaded the game for the first time and how effective it is, so we can kind of an idea of how big a difference sorting makes for this vehicle, because it makes a bigger difference for some things than others. But so let's get our revenge on these evil vanguards here in the VR. That said mean things about our mother. And see, this is a bug I've noticed while experimenting, is the it likes to rotate when you land. I'm not sure why. I've been trying to get to stop, but it doesn't want to stop. Yeah, here's the rear fire into the back of the Vanny there. You see that fast reload there is just lets you fast reload by default even is really nice. So that was about 2.5 magazines for the default gun, completely stock. Don't want to accidentally hit the lid, but let's see. Forgot to adjust my mouse sensitivity, but there we go. Kills infantry pretty fast. It's not bad. Galaxy's already damaged. I've got the enhanced targeting so you can see the health bars going down. Hopefully to get an idea how fast it's burning through. Let's take a look at the lib. You can see it just chewing up that lib. So a little over 2, like 2.5 clips maybe, because I started out the first magazine partial. So 2.5, maybe 3 for a lib. That's not bad for a completely unsorted vehicle. And I'm hitting a tree. Yeah, you can see, you can kind of maneuver around, and this is without the airframes. This is just completely stock, and it's very maneuverable. But look at the top speed. This is the top speed without using hover at all, without hitting the spacebar for hover. And you can see the vehicle is actually dropping. It can't maintain level flight. And it's quite slow. Now I can turn on a dime, which is really great. I love that. And if you angle down and use your vertical thrust, it's not too bad. It's difficult to see where you're going because of the camera. It's even worse in first person, which is why I'm flying in third. I'd probably be crashing into things in first person. But yeah, it's nice and maneuverable. Yeah, I honestly like the way it flies. I just think its top speed when it goes into cruising mode needs to be a little bit faster, and or it needs to be a little bit tankier. It needs to be able to take a little bit more of a beating if it's going to be slow, because it's just not going to be able to get away from danger fast enough. So, but yeah, this is what it looks like up close. I'll go into depth about the different weapons after I give the overview here. And yeah, so the gunner. The range of movement on the gunner is extremely limited. Like you're limited to just above horizontal and straight down, and then about 180 degrees. So you got a huge blind spot above and behind the craft for the main gunner. The sides and the back, to some extent, are protected a little bit by the rumble seats, but I mean, I guess you could, shoot at an ESF that's chasing you. I'm not sure how effective that would be while trying to maneuver. I mean, you got two seats, so you got one on each side. So I mean, you still got this wing here, though. Like it's completely obscures above. You cannot, if something gets above you, like a lib is above you, you're dead. There's just no way of shooting back, and you're really not fast enough to get away. The lib is gonna outrun you, which I don't know how I feel about that. Now, your rocket launchers and your whatnot does work, and you can shoot out just like you can in a harasser. Oh yeah, first person in case you guys missed it. The control interface, like the in-game control interface, is not finished. There's no displays, like no speed or anything like that, so that's kind of annoying. That's just something they haven't gotten around to finishing yet. So, now, you can't damage the craft with small arms from inside, or rockets, so you don't have to worry about accidentally hitting this tail fin. Your rocket goes right through, fortunately. So you don't have to worry about hitting all these struts and stuff when you're launching rockets and whatnot. That's nice. Not to have to worry about it. Let's see. Now your medic, your infiltrator, your well, not really useful in the rumble seat. I mean, I suppose you can carry them to the across the battlefield and whatnot. That's fine. You're really gonna want the heavies and engineers in these seats because one, engineer you can repair from any angle. You don't have to worry about aiming for a tiny little tire or anything like that. You can just point it straight out and get it. Can't put a turret, obviously. That'd be kind of hilarious. It does play the animation, but it doesn't actually work. Ammo kit, on the other hand, does in fact work. See, and it reloads. And if I take off, take it a few yards away, you can see on the mini-map that the ammo kit is following. Ammo kit's still in there. There it is. And it still reloads. You're going to want an engineer to drop his ammo kit in here every once in a while. Maybe have one of the rumble seats be an engineer? I don't know. Personally, I think 2 heavies would be better. Maybe have the gunner swap with one of them every once in a while, drop his ammo kit and swap back. That might be working. If you want to get a good 4-man squad going for it. But yeah. You can see, I have my mouse sensitivity a little too high because of the test client. Yeah, I forgot to adjust it again. Yeah, looks nice, flies nice. It's a little slow. Let's go detail some of these weapons though. I showed you on paper, and let's go ahead and show you in action here. Okay, so let's throw on that, slap on that reload speed. We'll try it. I think that's what I'm gonna go with for these. And night vision, and of course ammo. Why not? Performance slot. I'm still leaning towards evasiveness, but we'll see how that pans out. And then composite armor, because I still think composite armor is gonna be better than nanite for this. And then utility fire suppression, so you can pop heals if need be while on the run. And see, look at that breaking on down there. Alright. I need to turn this. Some of these are already on fire, unfortunately. So I'm going to hit the Prowler. Okay, so this is fully sorted out Wyvern. And you can see it doing some pretty nice damage to the back of this Prowler. I mean, it's not as bad as, say, the Tank Buster or whatever. It's not as powerful as that, I don't think. But yeah, that reload speed really helps keep the fire going. And then, of course, that max takes quite a bit. Remember, this is basically just a Drake, a faster firing Drake. Some of these are already burning, but you can watch the health go down on the little bar there, and you can see it's chewing through it quite nicely. But this, again, this is VR, and you know it doesn't have blockade and whatnot. We'll see how it goes against that. And the lib does very nicely against the lib. You can see that it does almost half the lib's health in a single clip. About three and 2/3 of a clip to take out that lib there. The Mossy you can one clip. Straight up one clip of Mossy, which is quite nice. Let's see. Let's go. Now, how do they fare against each other is a good question. You might want to know how a Valkyrie goes against another Valkyrie since they're NS vehicles. Yeah. You can one clip another Valkyrie with the Wyvern. Not sure I like that, honestly. I think that might be a little too excessive. I think that might be just because the Wyvern, not because the Wyvern's too strong, but because the Valkyrie is too squishy. And of course, Galaxy. I'm not sure if you would be sending a squad of Valkyries against a Galaxy, but it does do a decent amount of damage. Several magazines later, though. I mean, this is... You're not going to be probably soloing Galaxies very well, or duoing, because pilot, gunner. But, in a group, you're going to maybe chase them away. of course, night vision. Back of this lightning. I think I may be hitting the side more than the back. I don't know. But yeah, I'm out of ammo. So yeah, that's the wyvern, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know. I've had that problem since the stupid things in WoW, the flight things on the Horde side. So never known how to pronounce it properly, and I don't care enough to look it up. So yeah. So let's go on to if I can. What the heck am I caught? Oops, that's weird. Yeah. That's the default gun, fully sorted out. It's not bad, but I don't know. My favorite so far, though, is Hellion. You got your standard stuff, reload speed, magazine. Magazine speed or size doesn't really add much on the Valkyrie weapons. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna go ahead and add it and see if maybe it's just not updating the description properly. That seems like a very small increase, 60 to 70. I don't know. Maybe they just felt they were gonna rebalance the two a little bit better. They're actually a choice. Who knows? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the TR because their area is a little more open, and I don't have to worry about clipping myself on a tree. So, yeah. But this is my favorite weapon so far on the back. There's no sight on it yet. The night vision works, but there's no crosshair. They haven't put the crosshair in, so still a work in progress. But yeah, you can see it spool up and just completely shred the back of that Prowler. Look at that. Just one clip the Prowler. Wow, right? Of course, you're gonna one clip Valkyries. Other Valkyries. It's like not even a clip, it's like half a clip. Of course, you know. Your Sunday. Your Sunday's half health in a single clip. You get a steady aim on that bad boy, and you're gonna wreck his day. Okay, lib over here. A little further away. Yeah, that lib brings it down to about third health, single clip. Bam. So yeah, you can two clip lib. The weapons on the Valkyrie, as you can see, are not weak. They're not too bad. Some of them could be a little bit stronger, and the craft itself could be a little more durable, in my opinion. But they're not too terrible. You can see it absolutely tearing apart that galaxy there. You get two of these guys onto a galaxy, and you're probably going to take it down with the pretty quick. You're definitely going to make him run for his life. You can see the vehicle is still sliding and slipping and sliding because I don't know why. You also see that the vertical angle problem is a problem. You can't shoot straight ahead. You have to shoot down somewhat. But yeah, that's the Hellion. I like it. It'll probably be standard equipment on my Valkyrie. It's a good general purpose weapon, at least against air and ground. And if you kind of like single shot it, it's pretty accurate, and you can not sure why it gave me the warning. It probably hit the vehicle behind him. It's kind of hard to hit with the crosshair, tiny target. But yeah, it's not really particularly great at killing infantry, but it will get the job done. So, it's a good general purpose weapon. In my opinion, it's a straight upgrade over the Wyvern. I don't see anything that the Wyvern does better than the Hellion. Hellion might have a tighter cone of fire. That might, Wyvern might have a tighter cone of fire, so it might be better at longer ranges. But that's about it. Let's actually take a look at that. Yeah, Hellion 1.25. Yeah, it's tighter cone. That's all. So the Wyvern might be better at longer ranges, but the Hellion is going to be your up close and personal best buddy. Cass. Again, reload speed takes it down to insanely quick. Reload like 1.5. This is your anti-infantry weapon. This is the Cass 14E. I'm not going to be able to show it off completely here in VR because it's got explosive rounds, and they still haven't fixed the VR problem with explosive rounds. But yeah, no crosshairs again, so aiming is a bit of a challenge here. Very fast firing, as you can see. Again, its damage is split between direct and explosive, so it'll probably kill infantry quicker than what you're seeing here. Nice thing about it though is this is the front of the Vanguard. You can actually see the bar moving down as you shoot. Thing absolutely, it's infantry. It's an anti-infantry weapon, but it's still effective against the front-facing armor on this Vanguard, which is really nice. This means you're not completely sacrificing your anti-vehicle ability. Basically, like the Shredder before the nerf. So, with its explosive rounds and whatnot. Let's get. Now, I'm kind of picking on the NC here now, but as you can see, it does noticeable damage to that lip. Not as much as say the Hellion did, but it's enough. If you get a jump on the lib and he's not expecting you, you're gonna be able to do a bit of damage to him. And you may be able to dodge his Dalton rounds, or whatever, if he's using Daltons. I'm not sure if you'll be able to dodge the Shredder, however. Again, you can see it chewing through the galaxy there. And this is what I wanted to really show you. Yeah, 2 clips set a Vanguard on fire. That's actually pretty impressive for an anti-infantry weapon. In fact, it's still better. There we go. It's still better than the all-around gun, the Wyvern. At vehicles almost. I mean, there's not a huge difference. It's still a 2 clip either way, or whatever to the back. So I'm not sure why you would use the Wyvern over anything else at this point. Again, it might be just the cone of fire is tight. That's the wrong terminal. Yeah. So maybe for like extreme long ranges, but this craft is not really built for extreme long ranges. It's built to get in and weave around. So cone is not that bad. Not as bad as the Hellions. Yeah. This is probably the one people are actually hearing about and talk about, whatever. Pelter Rocket Pod, blah blah blah. I still think reload speed is the way to go. The way they've done the numbers. There's still some weird stuff with the damage tables. Like right now, it has the Valkyrie has no resistance to small arms, for instance, and takes more damage from small arms than a flash. So you can basically 3 or 4 clip it with a carbine. It's pretty bad. Pelter rocket pods don't do much to air vehicles, as you can see. Not very impressive. I'm not impressed at all. Liberator's resistance to the pelter is pretty high. It's still it's fire faster than say Scythe or ESF's rocket pods, but I don't know. I don't think you would want to use it against other aircraft generally. This is the magic right here. Two clips sets them on fire, plus an extra 2 rounds. So that's 18 rockets basically. This is in VR, so it might even be less in live because of splash damage and whatnot. Oh, that Sunday's already hurt. Okay. Got this one over here. Yeah, this one is fine. Of course, it's important to test it against Sundays because at the end of the day, you're gonna want to kill Sundays. Like, that's your ultimate goal. Is to clear out the other vehicles and then kill Sundays. And it's not great. Splash damage is smaller and weaker than rocket pods, and the damage against that Sunday wasn't great. It did good against the MBT, and it does good against lightnings and whatnot as well, and light vehicles, but I'm honestly not all that impressed. And it's a dumbfire rocket pod. The rocket velocity is not impressive either. It's slower than the ESFs as well. I'll show you when I get back to the terminal. It's about half the speed. So you're going to have to lead your targets even more. Yeah, because it's got 150 meters per second missile speed. And yeah, rocket pods are 100 faster. Almost twice fast. Now this, I like. I've had a chance to play with it a little bit, and ammo capacity is nice. Brings it up to 70, is quite a bit. Reload speed though is insane on this. Brings it down to 1.25 seconds. That's fast, especially for a vehicle. That's amazingly fast. Let's give you an idea how fast that is. You go to the engineer carbine. That is faster than my carbine can reload. In the Venue have some of the faster reloading weapons, like the Pulsar C. It's still faster than the assault rifle. It's faster than the no, it's the same thing. Orion, that's what I want to look at. Way faster than the Orion. or speed, whatever. Yeah. It's faster. It reloads faster than my gun does. So that's nice. And of course, yeah, the optics and whatnot. Pretty standard stuff. Let's go back to TR so I don't get like, oh, you're beating up on the NC. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just... This one actually has reticle, which is nice. And watch how fast this fires. That's a faster TTK than the rocket pod version. Plus it's wire guided. That wire guided. Very slow rocket, but it's wire guided. Again, the Sundays still got high resistance to it. Three sets it on fire, 4 for the kill. The one thing that's disappointing is, look at that. It does do pretty good damage against the Galaxy there. That's the only thing I'm disappointed. It does very little damage to that lib compared to some of the other stuff. Like the machine guns will take down a lib probably faster than that. So yeah, that's the Valkyrie. The weapons aren't too bad. I kind of like the weapons. I think the Wyvern needs a little tweaking. Give it something nice. It may be just the close ranges in here. Maybe it's really good at long range. I don't know. I'll have to try it out there. Yeah. That's it. This preview of Valkyrie. It's on the test server. This is Tyrbyo from Test Outfit on Emerald, and yeah, I look forward to blowing you up with the nice shiny new Valkyrie when it comes out.